makes the importance of this kind of event with music for the independence referendum?
Well, it's not going to change anybody's mind because everybody that's here is going to be voting yes anyway, I would think. But just to keep the momentum going. I mean, to me, what's important about it is to keep the momentum and to keep people's spirits up, and the realisation that we are actually winning this and that we're going to win this. And I think sometimes, people talk about preaching to the converted. Well, I've been doing it all my life. Churches make a fortune out of preaching to the converted. You don't get many atheists. Good point. And so I really think that, sometimes it's purely and simply an exercise of keeping people going. Because it's a long haul. I mean, we've been in it for 2 years now, and people get tired and people flag a wee bit. And it's great if people are out stomping the streets and knocking on doors all the time, and we get them into one place, get up there, sing them a few songs, lift their spirits a bit. It gives them the impetus to keep going, because this is a fight that's going to go right to the wire.
Are we going to win it?
Yes, of course we are.
Thanks, Dick.
Hey, thank you.
Blast the cloots, he'll start a goody out the bay. But there's not a rough wind blowing through the great glen of the world today. It's the thought that we're Garur rodents are the ropes that gang callous fresh and gay. Tag the road and seek their loanings with our boys to sport and play. And never will the bonny cannons march to war while braggarts cruisely crawl. Nor we waves the pitied and clacking modern ships sailing in the broom along. Broken families and lands we fate will curse Scotland the brave, nae mair, nae mair. Black and white until they're married, back the vale barracks for their Mr. Bed. With us if you know it. Say, come on, attain with freedom, never heed what the hoodies croak for doom. In your house, or the bends o'er, will find breed, barley, bray, and paint to room. One MacLean meets with springs and springburn, are the roses and games will turn to bloom. And a black lad, free on night anger, dings the fell gallows o' the burgher's doom.
here with the DJ from the Gaelic hip-hop band that was on before.
Risky Manoeuvres, man.
Oh, okay. So, have you come a long way for this?
Aye, we came down from North Ballahoosh this morning. And, playing and practicing the croft for the last 3 days, surrounded by Highland cows and mountains. Perfect setting for getting in about this sort of gig. It's been good.
Are they totally into? Because I've got 3 dogs and 2 cats, and one of my cats is totally into French hip-hop.
I don't know, the cows seem to quite like the bassy stuff. They react to the bass well, but we've not really tried them. I don't know, they're obviously getting the Gaelic rap forced upon them on a regular basis, but they were in good form. I helped impregnate one the other day.
Right, I won't go any further with that one, but yeah.
No, not in a perverted sexual way. It was actually in a very agricultural sort of, crofty way.
Yeah, I do understand about vets, but there you go. So like, I've been asking a lot of people tonight, what do you think's the importance of like music and the cultural aspect in this debate? Because a lot of it's been very sort of technical and currency and economics. What do you think's the kind of importance of music and arts in this debate?
I don't know. I think it can only help Scotland's kind of musical identity grow. You know, I mean, especially with the likes of the hip-hop and the Gaelic hip-hop. Like, we've got Loki playing tonight and a few other... There's loads of others. There's a lot of talent in Scotland at the moment that's really not been realised. And I reckon independence would give us a much bigger shout at basically pushing Scottish music forward as a unit, you know.
Is that your main reason for support independence, or is there something else?
I just think it's the only really logical... I don't really see there being any other option, to be honest. You know, it's the only... I don't see the point. No makes no sense to me, to be honest. You know, if Better Together, it's just a stupid campaign name. But if you're better together, why aren't we good now, you know?
Okay, thanks very much.
No worries. Thanks. Cheers, man. Have a good one.
So I can't say it, because with everyone I've said, so I know here. Okay, I'm standing outside now, corner of Byers Road, same as the last few interviews, with Mike Gunn, who's been the designer for tonight's show. It's such a beautiful place. What have you done to it?
Yeah, well, it's a good question. It's an amazing place. I mean, Alasdair Gray has made it a cathedral of creativity. It was beautiful already. All I did was add some lights, some sparkles, and the rest is up to the people and the music.
When the photos come out, it's going to look amazing. But this event, are we preaching to the converted?
Preaching to the converted, yeah. That's a fairly decent shout. Yeah, we probably are, to be quite honest. I wouldn't say we're preaching, though. There's no preaching, there's no persuading. What I think we're doing tonight is celebrating. I think we kind of know what's happening. We know what's moving. We know where we're going. We know the future. Yeah, tonight is getting ready for the big party. It's great.
And the question I ask everyone, why do you support Scottish independence?
How long have you got? How can I answer that question? Why do I support Scottish independence? Because I want us to control our own destiny. I want us to decide what we do for our own people. It's as simple as that.
Thank you very much, Mike.
No problem.
So I'm here with one of the performers tonight, which is Findlay Napier, who is having great success around Europe. Now tonight, in the full house, it's been going very well. So why did you decide to play at this concert tonight?
I saw the first post from Bella Caledonia saying, we're thinking about doing this concert, could anybody help? And there was talk of doing an album, and at that time I was in the process of going through putting out an album and digital downloads and all that, and I went, I can actually do something. You know, like, I haven't been able to do going out in the street and canvassing, so it felt like this is something I can do. I can play at the concert and I can give you advice, and I've kind of been, Kevin, who organised it, I've kind of been his go-to guy. Like, I need somebody that plays drums. Who plays drums? Do you know any good sound companies? Who does digital downloads? So I've just been asked, get random phone calls from him at 7 o'clock in the morning going, I don't know what to do, man. Who do I speak to about this? And I go, you need to speak to this person. So yeah, so it's been really good. It's been dead exciting to be involved, and it was really great actually just to get to play at it alone was fantastic.
So a lot of the debate has been very dry. It's been about economic policy and everything. But what do you think is the importance of the cultural aspect in all of this?
I guess the cultural aspect is it's almost been like the mouthpiece, hasn't it? It's like the papers have not been very good, let's be fair, and the TV's been worse. And one of the great ways of communicating to lots of people has been through gigs and concerts. And since I kind of got behind the Yes campaign, I've talked about it at my concerts and said, I'm going to vote yes. And some people don't like that, and some people do. But it was just like starting the conversation. So, and I play with a guy called Chris Sherburn, who's an English concertina player, lives in Goole, and we were doing gigs and people would come up to you and talk to you about it, like English people are fans of Chris and I's, and they're like, why are you doing this? It's a terrible idea, we're going to break this up and it's awful. And then you have a really nice conversation with them, like Mary Ann said, be kind, have a nice conversation with someone about it, and they're like, oh man, I think you might actually, you've got something there, you should totally vote yes. It's funny.
And I ask everyone this question, so I'm asking it to yourself as well. Why do you support Scottish independence?
At first, it was because of the NHS, because I am self-employed and there is no way in the world that I would be able to afford private healthcare. Just no way. So that was the first thing. And then more recently, I've got really into this thing about land ownership. I kind of just assumed everything was great, kind of like an ostrich. I had my head buried in the sand, and now I've kind of realised that this is really unfair. Like, we live in a really unfair country. I grew up on an estate and surrounded by like fishing beats and grouse beating and all the kind of things that people do, and now that is actually the thing that drives me. Why can't guys my age that live in my hometown afford to buy themselves a house or a flat? It's ridiculous. It's an absolute outrage, because these parcels of land are being held by a small amount of the population. It's simply not fair. So it's like, my thing now is about homes for people that live locally in rural areas.
So, Indy for land reform?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Findlay.
That's what I should have said, is Indy for land reform. That would have been shorter than that massive blab.
Thank you, Findlay.
Cheers. Thanks very much.
So I've managed to collar Loki, the rapper, and the person who was performing with him tonight, who is Becky. They did it as a kind of acoustic guitar number with a rapper. How do you think tonight's gone?
Marvellous. Tonight's been brilliant. Really good humoured, good natured, really eclectic mix of artists. And also, have to remark on how smoothly it's went, very well organised it is as well, which is quite unusual for something of this magnitude.
It's good. It's warm. It feels warm. Everyone's excited and happy. I love it.
I think there's it's getting to the stage where people are sort of convinced that we can do this. Do you think there's a danger in this, or we really have to keep working the last couple of weeks?
I think we need to keep working, but I think there's starting to be a rising sense of the high possibility that we are going to get a yes vote, and I think that is causing a great sense of glee in a lot of people at the moment, to be honest. But we've got a wee mantra just now: if we can speak to one person that's undecided each and give them our strong feelings and reasons for yes, then we've done our job, and hopefully we'll get our vote, so it should be good.
Do you think we're going to do this?
Yes, I do. Whether it's in the 18th or in future, I mean, it won't stop until we're independent, so we can take comfort from that.
Yeah, so that's the argument. A lot of people are saying the genie's not going back in the bottle after this, because the faith in the British government's totally gone.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, you've always campaigned on a kind of negative style, but do you see the sort of positives in what's been created in the course of the campaign?
I do. I mean, obviously, I've had concerns at times that it's a wee bit twee, but that's because I come from a different background where people talk in an aggressive way and people communicate in an aggressive way sometimes. And I think I'm satisfied that there has been a legitimate place for that too in this. Sometimes focus on the positives is really a synonym for talk about the things that are important to us. So it's about getting the right balance and making sure that if you are going to say something contentious, that it's very clear what your intentions are, and then nothing really bad can come of it.
So were you both shiting yourselves that somebody would lob an egg tonight?
Always, man. That's just a constant fear of mine wherever I go.
It's usually half bricks and bottles.
We're alright with eggs, we like eggs, man. We have at least 2 every day. So.
You've got to break a few to make an omelette, So.
Exactly.
Cheers, thanks for doing the interview.
No bother.
Thank you.
Make them for yourself.
The clock's turning, the pot on the hob's burning. I sought loving what it wrought on my hollow yearning. And not raw as in Johnny Rotten, raw as in how a sledgehammer shapes a point, youngin'. After a moderate discussion on cost cutting, they laid us off and the economy stopped working. The world's our very own hot oven. At the shop front we fight over anything that's not burning. This clarity of mind's virtually thought numbing. Killed my evil twin and made virtues of his shortcomings. On the page characters organise accordingly. Byros awkwardly jive at my apostrophe. I'm a